I said the Chinese are worthy adversaries. Like they just got caught trying to sneak in this insane pathogen was going to destroy our entire food supply.
Like a fungus that would have fucked up our food supply.
Okay.
Are we at war with China? I think we are.
Absolutely.
I think we are.
Fentanyl, immigration, buying the farmland. It's a silent war.
Yeah. And we do business with each other and, you know, like the old spy versus spy that you're shaking hands, but you're holding the knife behind your back. Like that's the relationship we have with China. And, you know, maybe we ought to just start lobbing a few high explosives into some of their cities.
Maybe we should.
What, you started this. You put a plague on the earth. You're trying to fuck up our industry. You steal every intellectual property that we have here. You hack every part of our infrastructure. We're at war with these motherfuckers.
Yeah. And they're very open about it. Like they have missiles pointed to our country. They're just waiting to take Taiwan. They're just kind of scared to do it to us. And even the tariffs. I mean, we talk a big game about cutting them off, but can we cut off China? Is it possible to just completely starve ourselves to death? And I'm not talking about plastic toys. I'm talking about microchips and, you know,
a great strategy on their part many years ago was to come into the world economy from this dark, like we didn't know shit about China. They were communists. That's all we knew. And communists. And then Nixon goes over there and opens China. And then we start having these economic deals that we made with them. And at the time, I guess we couldn't see that if we become dependent on them, we can't then go to any type of real war with them anymore. Even these proxy wars, we can't really do that because we're so dependent on them. Meanwhile, they know how to just eat fish heads. We need, you know, a wrapped processed
like fish heads. They like eating bugs and cats.
Yeah.
That's a good Thanksgiving feast for them.
Yeah, they don't depend on us as much as we depend on them economically in this world. So yeah, the tariffs, I don't know what that's really going to do, but that's why I don't think they're afraid to do all of this other clandestine shit to us for decades upon decades with impunity, because they know what can we do? We can't hurt them because we depend on them.
They go to our schools. They go to Harvard and Yale. They learned everything we have to offer. Then they go back and use it against us. And their lifestyle is, you know, not seeing their kids for 10 months of the year. The grandparents raise the kids. So what are we going to do? Say you have to work, you know, 100 hours a week to fight us? No problem. I'm already doing that.
We'll do it.
They live on tile floors. They eat garbage. Like it's not easy to punish a Chinese person.
No, their whole life has been like punishment.
Well, Mao killed all the ones that like nice stuff. So now it's just droids.
Yep.
It's just soulless robots.
And we've gotten to the point where, you know, they're producing all of our technology and we can't do without them. You see the drone thing? Like the fact
where it's like Godzilla walking down the street?
Yeah. Yeah, all drones. And we go, oh, how pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, do you realize they're choreographing 15,000 drones to make Godzilla walking down the street? I wonder what else they could choreograph 15,000 drones to do.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Anthony Cumia.
Hello, I'm Gavin McInnes.
And together we're Compound Censored.
And we would like you to subscribe with this deal using this promo code right below me right now.
Do it, because it's very entertaining. Dummy.
Just to leave, you could have aircraft carriers of just drones and then invade America without even getting too close to our shores.
Yeah.
And just send those in. You bomb malls, so we're too scared to shop.
Look at this. I read that they can produce 700,000 drones a month. Like ready to go.
Lord.
How many of those could you just pump out at 30,000 a clip? You're just pumping them out and destroying like football field size groups of anything.
Yeah.
Just dead instantly.
And what do? Shoot at them? Best of luck. It's like fighting a murmur of starlings.
A murmur of starlings. Yes. Yeah. Or, if you trip over a bee's nest in the woods and they all swarm around you, pull your gun out and start shooting the bees.
Not on my watch, bees. Holy fuck, we're
that is. And we just, I guess it was like, think about the ancient Chinese times where they came up with gunpowder and started with these amazing displays of fireworks, and how people must have gone like, oh my God, ooh, look at that. It sparkles like the sun and stuff. The very next thing they did was put it in a tube with something else and put a hole in someone with it. So, while these drone displays are beautiful, we see what they could do in Ukraine and Russia, and they're buying them from China.
Didn't we beat them on the gun technology, though? I've always thought it took them too long to come up with the tube. Didn't we do the tube first?
Oh, I think we probably did the tube first. I'm just saying, like, somebody saw that as a beautiful, ooh.
And
then decided, well, it's a great way to kill people.
Yeah, it's like the plot of every science fiction movie. It starts out with, like, Robotod, and it's here to make your life better. And then someone pisses off their personal servant, and all of a sudden we have this.
Yeah.
But it's Will Smith in a costume.
Yeah. So, the drone thing, do we even have defenses? I know there is a lot we don't know about, secretive technology, the skunk works at Area 51. Yeah. But do we have to sit here and cross our fingers and go, sorry, guys, we don't have one thing we can do against 100,000 drones being thrown at us. We have jammers and stuff. We could take out maybe 5,000. And that's if we know they're coming. The swarms they sent into Russia, they drove those things into Russia on trucks that were completely expected to be driven into Russia.
Oh, look at that. This is a new Red Scare plot. That's the beginning of Red Scare 3.
Look at this.
Tabernacle.
They all have RPG warheads on them. Now what?
Well, isn't Russia and Ukraine mostly drones?
Yeah, at this point, it's all you see. I don't see any protracted tank battles like World War II or platoons of soldiers shooting at each other. It's all you see is boom, his head flies off. That's what they're doing.
Well, before Trudeau left, he said, I'm confiscating all of your AR-15s or whatever the it was. Not a farmer rifle, but anything remotely military looking. And we're sending them to Ukraine. And Ukraine goes, none of us are using those.
We're not even shooting anymore.
We have like whatever the modern Gatling gun is on top of a tank. And then drones and the idea of having an AR-15, not interested. Don't need it.
Yeah. Don't care. Now they're using, I guess, was it Russia first? I think Russia started using fiber optic drones because Ukraine figured out how to jam the radio signals of these drones. So they, from China, got these things. It's like a giant spool, and it's underneath the drone, and it's literally 10 kilometers of fucking fiber optic cable. And they're controlling these drones.
So there's a long cord behind them.
Yes, a wire. So they showed this soldier walking through this field by the front, and it looked like he was covered in spider webs. All the fiber optic cables that have gone in that direction were all across the field. It was around his legs and his body. And so with every advancement to thwart these drones that come out, they're figuring out a way, like every other weapon in history, to get around it. So drones are going to be around for a while.
We're about to experience ring rust. You know what ring rust is?
What's that?
Not when you don't wipe your ass well enough, but when a boxer hasn't fought long, there's too much time between a boxer's bouts.
Oh,
and it's been 2 years, and he forgets like to look that way, and he gets knocked out because he has ring rust.
Right.
When they show up with their fiber optic drones, we'll be like we're not going to know what the to do.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll have a bunch of there, a bunch of.
There was a Ukrainian drone. I saw a video, a Ukrainian drone that was fiber optic and a Russian drone that was radio controlled. And the Russian drone cut the fiber optic with his propellers. The two drone pilots were somewhere like
playing a video game,
screen, having a video game. They were fighting with drones. Both of them, they couldn't be hurt. So it's inconsequential, like a video game. And he's trying to cut the line on the fiber optic drone. And I'm like, there's just no humanity left in this at all, which just perpetuates it. There was an old Star Trek episode where a war had started thousands of years prior. And they just got to the point where they didn't want to keep destroying their culture and civilization. So they had a simulated war. And they would say, all right, 50,000 people were just killed. And they would send 50,000 of their own people into these chambers to die. And they're like, well, they would have been killed anyway, but at least we get to keep our libraries and civilization. And, Kirk is like, you're perpetuating the war you need what is the terror and horrors of war. So Kirk put the computer up. And now they're like, well, now we got to fire real missiles. And Kirk is like, yeah, mother. Or you could get on the blower here and call the other side and maybe work something out.
I thought they weren't supposed to intervene.
I know. And he was called on that whole primary, what is it? The prime directive.
Directive, yeah.
The prime directive, not to interfere. But he always is able to talk his way around it. Wasn't interfering with it. I merely manipulated your court-martial the guy, Kirk. But, when you have a war like that, where it's two guys sitting there and they're fighting each other's robot, or it's another robot, but people are still getting killed, there's still conventional war going on. It kind of takes the oomph out of it.
Yeah, and it makes you more prone to go into war.
Yes. You think you could win it without any casualties.
If it's just going to be a bunch of fiber optic cables on someone else's field, it's not even my field.
So if you enjoyed that clip,
then subscribe to Compound Censored using this promo code.